Prime time. Broadcasting worldwide.
Hello, Darksiders people. It's your boy Dre, and I am once again back with my Darksider Thrak. Back with Thrak.
Can you turn on the lights? I can't see anything. It's too dark in here.
I will not. I will not do that.
I don't know what side of this dark I'm on. Is it the 2 side?
Yes.
Okay.
The dark 2 side.
The dark 2.
Like 4 side, like FOUR side in Earthbound. Same thing. 2 side. Yeah.
That girl's a dark 2, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but I like it. So,
I don't either.
We're here.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, it's staying in. It's staying in. We are here to talk about Darksiders 2.
Yes.
Again, we don't know exactly how these are going to air. We think these are going to air sequentially week by week, but probably last week you heard us talk about Darksiders, and now we are talking about Darksiders 2.
And there was they're recording, a little behind the scenes, there was a big gap between 1 and 2.
There sure was.
Because I had to fly like thousands of miles away, and I couldn't take Darksiders with me. Yeah. I really wanted to, but I couldn't.
Where's the Steam Deck, brah? Should have played
I don't
it
have
like me.
one. I might be getting that Gabe Cube.
Oh, get the Gabe Cube, yeah.
I'm genuinely thinking about it. I think it depends on what they're going to price it at.
Dude, I'm thinking it's $800.
I don't know if I'd buy it for $800.
Yeah, I don't know either.
If it was like $600, I'd probably grab it.
Yeah, $600 seems like the sweet spot, right?
Because I'm thinking if it's going to be like $800, I'm like, why don't I just spend that money and just get a fucking PC?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're already halfway there. So it's like, like this laptop I have right now, earlier this year, I spent $1,500 on it, and it's great. It's powerful, like whatever. I'm not going to spend like almost a G on like a Gabe Cube when I could, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I do talk about it on a much earlier episode of 3DO Experience when they announced it, and I was just like, I think part of what made the Steam Deck work so well was that it came in at a very attractive competitive price point.
Yep.
And I think that's part of why it was so successful. And I imagine Valve are looking at that with, say, the Gabe Cube and everything, and like the VR set and everything, and being like, we should probably price these competitively. I mean, everything's going up in price. So wouldn't it be really good if Valve wants to break more into the hardware business? They're like, oh, here's our proprietary hardware, and it's at a price point that people would say, that's not bad. Like, that's good. And plus, they're a private company, so they don't have to worry about stakeholder bullshit or shareholder bullshit. They can just be like, yeah, this is like, $650 without the controller, $700 if you want the controller, that kind of a thing.
That controller looks like a nightmare, right? I mean, it probably is comfortable, but it doesn't look good.
It looks like somebody shoved track pads on a Mad Catz DualShock 4.
It's so weird.
It looks terrible. But I thought the Steam Deck's controls looked bad, too.
They feel fine. I like them.
Yeah, everyone says they feel fine, but I remember seeing, I'm like, that D-pad is way too far to the left for me, but
I like it. It hasn't been a problem for me, personally.
Yeah, so,
but I get
who knows?
Not for everybody.
It could be another case of it's not visually appealing,
well, you
but
could sit on your couch and play Darksiders 2 like I did on the Steam Deck, and it ran pretty good on the Steam Deck. Well, maybe I should start there. Darksiders 2 has no PC settings to speak of. Either you can run that bitch or you can't. And I get it. It's a game from 2012.
It's like playing a console game, basically.
Yeah, well, it's so weird. Well, I mean, the Steam Deck ran it mostly fine. There was a few little hiccups like in the early dungeons, but for the most part, it was 60 and it was fine. Okay. But yeah, Darksiders 2 released for Xbox 360 and PS3 in August 2012. What a time, baby!
I had graduated high school a couple months prior.
I was just turned 30. I was a weird hipster. I don't know what I was doing at this time.
So was I, but I was barely an adult.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think August 2012. Yeah, that's when I turned 18.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
What a difference. Yeah. So Darksiders 2 was ported to PS4 and Xbox One in 2015 as Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. I hate that name.
They really thought they were spitting.
They thought they cooked. They thought they cooked. They did not. And that's the version we played. We played Definitive Edition.
Yes. In fact, in October of 2024, that PS4 Xbox One version got a quiet PS5 Series X update. So
Really?
I played the Series X update, and yeah, it actually runs like really smooth. It has quick resume in it. The first one did not have quick resume, and that kind of pissed me off. This one it did, so I could hop in and out no problem. It crashed on me one time, and it was at like near the end of the game, and I think it was just because the game was like, "What are you doing?" I was being weird, so I'll give it credit. It ran a lot better, and the first one did not run well for me. So,
Really?
I had more tech
I
issues
played that
than
on
I
PS because it would not work on Steam Deck at all. So I ran it. Well, I could have played it on the computer, but I was like, I don't know. I'd rather just at that rate, I'll just play it on PS5. So I did, and the first Darksiders worked beautifully. I always say War Mastered.
War Mastered sounds so much better than Definitive.
For sure. Well, I don't know. I keep wanting to say War Minded edition.
I mean, you play as War, and he is war-minded.
He is war-minded. He is the mind of war. Yes. But yeah, so I played Darksiders 2 on Steam and Steam Deck, and beautiful. It scaled up nice. So thankfully, again, it's an old-ass game, so the lack of settings doesn't really hurt, but it definitely hurts on 3. I'll get there later.
Yeah, because in 2012, I think that's really the beginning of like PC gaming starting to become more of a big deal.
Yeah.
And
whereas
like
very enthusiast before, here's your RTS and your strategy games and your whatever. Yeah.
Like Steam was starting to take off at that point, and people were starting to beg for PC ports a little bit more and more to where we are now, where PC is honestly probably just the future. Everything's going to be a PC. Everything's computer.
Everything is on the computer.
On the Microsoft Windows personal computer by Hewlett Packard.
The IBM compatible computer. Did you have any expectations after the first game, the way we felt about it? I liked it more than you. Did you have any particular expectation of Darksiders 2?
All I knew of Darksiders 2 coming into it was people either preferred 1 or 2 as like, fans as to which one they liked more. And that this one, they're like, it's the same game, but there's more of it. And I was like, okay, sure.
So like a BioShock 2 situation, basically.
That was kind of my expectation, was it was going to be, like the bigger, badder, better sequel kind of thing, right? And apparently it's like, it was one of the most expensive video games to develop at the time as well.
Wow.
Like its budget was like $50 million.
Wow. It costs a lot.
And I'm surprised THQ had that kind of money back then.
Well,
this is one of the last games they published, I think.
I think so. Yeah, because like when we get into Darksiders 3, we'll have to talk about the death and rebirth of THQ before we get talking about the game. Which I'll have to do some research into. I mean, we lived it, but it's hard to remember now.
I would say I do remember when like THQ was. I remember when Midway died.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember these things. I remember when Acclaim died, or now they're alive again. Midway is never coming back. And and I remember like THQ, and I was like, oh, that's a shame, because in the GameCube era, I played so many like licensed games that had THQ on it, and I was I like them, but things had changed by that point.
Yeah, and they've been doing that since the NES. THQ was synonymous with trash, like LGN. You know what I mean? It was just one of those names that was just like, okay. But then when they got into like the 2000s, they actually started making like much better games.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they kind of became legit. But for old heads like me, it was always kind of wary, like, do we really want to trust THQ, for like whatever? But
yeah, because by the time Darksiders came around, I think their reputation had already kind of been in the dirt.
Yeah.
So it was them trying to come back with something more like palpable. Because they also still had Saints Row at that point.
I think so.
So they published the few of those. So I felt like they were trying, but it was like the hole was already too well dug.
Yeah, it was too late. They were going to die anyway.
Yeah, and looking at their games that they like developed or whatever, like Darksiders 2 and WWE 13 are like their last main releases.
I think so.
In fact, actually their last 3 games that they released are Darksiders 2 for the Wii U, and then Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune for the Wii U.
Oh my God, they still had those licenses.
Yeah, in November and December of 2012, and then they shut down right
It's
after
like,
that.
maybe Wheel of Fortune will save us.
Hey, if Vanna White can't save you, you're dead. You might as well just die.
You're way dead. That's why you know how it was back in the day, every publisher, no matter what it was, it's like, this is a sales disappointment, even though it sold like 5 million copies. Darksiders 2 in its first year sold like 1.5 million, and THQ's like, we're disappointed. That sucks. And it's like, okay, whatever, guys, I guess. But they were hurting at that time. So
yeah, I think it was that they needed this game to like get them out of the hole, and it just wasn't going to do it, because it's not really, as much as I like the games so far, they're just not the kind of series you can hang an entire publishing company off of. A developer, sure. Like if you're Vigil Games or whatever, you can probably be like, yeah, we're the Darksiders guys. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool, right? But it's a different story when you're a publisher. You need those other games to kind of keep you going.
And THQ was just not doing that. But yeah, I expected more of the same. I also expected more of a Bioshock 2 situation where it's like, okay, here's more Darksiders. The reception seems to be about the same as the first game. I was trying to look for any sassy reviews. I didn't really see any. So, just kind of like, hey, Darksiders, it's back. It's back.
I'm sure if you looked through the Metacritic user reviews, you'd find some sassy ones.
Oh, those people are cray sometimes. So, okay.
I love them.
Let's start here. Let's start with our overall thoughts. You did say you liked the game. Did you like it more than the first game?
Yes, actually. I am one of those people who prefer Darksiders 2 to Darksiders 1. Because despite the game, I think, having some unnecessary fluff and some of the more newer elements that they put in there, I'm just kind of like, feels a little unnecessary. I think like the core of the game, like your movement, your combat, puzzles, all that good stuff, to me, it felt a lot better than the first game. And I think it just comes down to Death as a character. He's quicker and he's a much more fast-paced type of a character than War is. And I think when you're going for that kind of leaning more into character action, having a character be a bit more fast-paced made that part more fun for me. And I think that's why, like, the core of the game I found to be much more entertaining because of that. Because War is a big sluggish guy, and that's fine. But with Death, I don't know. I just liked him more. It reminded me a little bit of that Spectre of Torment Shovel Knight expansion, where it's like it's much quicker and more fast paced, and it's like, yeah, I like this. It feels smoother to play,
Okay. My feeling is I definitely don't like Darksiders 2 as much as the first one, and by quite a bit. I want to stress that I do not hate this game by any means, but I can't think of a single aspect of Darksiders 2 that I didn't like more in the first one.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So I'm probably going to be doing a lot of bitching and comparing, but just know that, like, I didn't hate playing this. It's just that sometimes I was kind of bored. Especially when we get into later dungeons and I'm like, I am going to run on this wall the same fucking way I did 15 hours ago. I am so tired of doing this shit. That type of shit.
And the thing is, I felt that way about 1, because I thought 1 kind of dragged a little bit. And this game, it is longer. There's definitely a lot more things to do. But it feels more like artificially fluffy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like they give you all these like big overworlds and all this other stuff, and it's like, look how massive this game is, and
it's not.
It's like it's big, but there ain't shit to do in it most of the time.
It's Ocarina of Time. There's nothing to fucking do out there.
If it wasn't for the fast travel, it would have been a slog.
It was. I mean, slog. Like it literally is Ocarina. Here's the big field, and here's all these interconnected. Like, I fucking hate Ocarina of Time. Okay, that is not the model I want for Darksiders. I get that they're trying to take out after Zelda, but like, maybe we can start there. I feel like this game is a lot less Zelda than Darksiders 1.
It feels more like just a straight up action RPG. And like it completely leans into the whole RPG thing with having stats, having all of the random loot and like weapons that you can buy and all this other stuff. And it's like, sure, but like
they went so far out of their way in Darksiders to not show you all the nerd shit.
Yes. like a Zelda game. It hides
they
all the
try
math
to
from
not. It's like, okay, because like they were even afraid of the word level, because remember you use your sword a lot as war, and it's like, you use your sword a lot. Now it is more powerful or whatever. They didn't say like you level up your sword.
A very Zelda thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah. This game doesn't give a fuck. There's life bars and damage numbers on enemies now, like a RPG. There's, like you said, there's random loot, and it's not just the loot. It's 2 different types of weapons, helmets, armor plates, almost said feet. Yes, you just screw off some feet. You screw off your old feet and you plop this new one right back on like a Lego.
See, I didn't like the numbers, but I don't need that flashy number shit. You can turn it off.
I like numbers. I've always liked numbers.
I feel the numbers thing, I just feel like whenever I see that stuff, it's just like it gets in the way visually. And I'm like, I just want to focus on the action. You know what I mean? That's all. It's just a little thing. Like I get like in like a Diablo or something, it's fine. Like if it's a more turn-based thing, or you just click attack and it does the attack for you, that's fine. But in a game where I'm trying to like dodge and like block and fight and all that, I'm like, I don't need to see that excess shit. Just let me focus.
What about like other games where you're like, it's also loot based, like The Division or something? Like
I haven't played The Division.
Has numbers. Yeah, because like those type of games have numbers too. I don't think Destiny has numbers. It doesn't seem like something they do.
I have not played The Division, and the only reason I haven't is because I'm told it's not really fun to play single player. Because it doesn't have crossplay, I can't play with any of my PlayStation.
Yeah, and I'm on PlayStation, obviously. Yeah, and I've been playing Division 2 for years. So,
like, literally, a buddy of mine was like, "Let's do Division 2," and then I looked and it wasn't crossplay, and I went, "We can't fucking play." And then we were so disappointed because we both really wanted to play it.
I think you will really like Division 2 if you ever
I like
play
the shooty bang bang stuff. It's just I need somebody to play it with because it's one of those games I don't think I can solo it.
No, you can't. I would never suggest that you do. It's even the first one. Don't do it. It's not a good time. But like, yeah. So like, Darksiders 2 has all this like loot RPG stuff where it's like, what happened? I thought we were like not doing that. It's just so weird that they went completely in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there like a game between Darksiders 1 and 2 that was like a crazy big RPG with numbers that made people freak out? Like
Borderlands existed by the time Darksiders 1 came out, so
I mean, maybe Borderlands.
Borderlands could have.
But I don't get a Borderlands influence from this game.
I definitely don't, because obviously the world isn't nearly like explorable enough for.
Did God of War have numbers?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I don't remember. It's
I
been
can't
way
remember
too
either.
fucking long. Yeah, I wonder where they would have got that from.
Mass Effect doesn't really. I don't think Dragon Age does, and they were out by this point.
I feel like Dragon Age has numbers. I feel like Dragon Age is numbers.
It might be a Dragon Age thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. Well, because like it was very common to do that, even in games where it didn't feel like you needed to do that. But in Darksiders 2, I think it's fine because, like, again, you're doing all the loot stuff. If they just had numbers and was still exactly like Zelda, where it's like you have this sword, you have this one armor, then I'd be like, okay, we don't need numbers. But the fact that like you have so much different loot, I think the numbers are good.
Yeah, like I don't mind that they wanted to do the RPG stuff. It's just, if you think about it in the grand scheme of the game, it feels completely unnecessary because it doesn't feel like it really contributes, because it just does it makes the number bigger, but the enemies kind of like scale with you as you go. Mm-hmm. So in a way, you just kind of retain that same level of power the whole way. So it's like, what's kind of really the point?
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It gives you that dopamine thing, and then the loot. What was so annoying at first with the loot was every time you get to it, they're like, "Oh, do you want to equip it right away?" And it would like show you the stats and stuff, and then you have to say yes or no. And I'm like, "Can I fucking change this?" And it's like, "Yeah, it just picks it up, and then you can look at it later," which is what I would do. I'd play the game for a good like 30, 45 minutes or something, and after I got a bunch of new loot, I'd be like, "Hey, let me see what I have, if anything's actually worth."
But I think you can do
upgrading.
that. I think you can just like pick it up and then look at it later. I don't.
I said I swapped it. That's what I did. I was saying there was the option to do that, and I did.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Because then I'd play it in like increments, and then after I got a bunch of loot, I would be like, okay, is this better? Is this better? Like, and also it becomes a lot of cases like a menu game, because a lot of RPGs kind of become menu games.
Yep.
And I'm like, for Darksiders, I don't think it really works. It doesn't mix well, because like that high octane action that I enjoy, Like then it's like I have to then it completely dies. I'm like, okay, like well, this number goes up, but this number goes down. Like I have to pull out fucking spreadsheets to see what's what's better.
It's just weird to have loot in a game that doesn't encourage looting because the world isn't designed for it. Again, this is not Borderlands or The Division or anything where you're going around opening a lot of treasure chests and getting tons of different loot and looking through them or sharing them with your friends in a multiplayer setting or whatever. Oh, check out this gun I got, check out this thing. Darksiders 2 doesn't have any of that. So it's weird.
Yeah, like it comes out years later, but it reminds me a little bit of like Assassin's Creed Origins. Because Origins like goes the RPG route, has the numbers, does the loot, all that junk, right? I think it handles it a little bit better than this game because it doesn't feel like they just kind of shoehorned it in to make it work. They're just like, oh, here's just a bunch of random shit that you can use. And like at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal because you can just pick what kind of weapons you want for like your play style. Because all the different weapons you get in like Assassin's Creed Origins are like, oh, here's like the heavy weapons if you just want to beat shit up, or if you want to be more stealthy, here are these options. And then you can kind of like customize your character a little bit from there. But Darksiders doesn't really give you that option.
No.
It's just like which scythes do you want to use? And I'm like, the ones that kill things quicker.
Yeah, and that's all you can really do. Yeah, because like I guess like the sub weapon, there's like claws, there's like a hammer, there's like a you can use like a few different things, but the scythe is a scythe, right? So
exactly.
I don't know. I guess it's fine. It ends up fine, but it also doesn't really. The world doesn't really support loot. So it's kind of strange, but I definitely don't mind it. It wasn't like a negative.
No, it's just something that just it felt unnecessary. But I think it was them trying to differentiate one from two. They're like, how do we, evolve this? Because I think they felt if they just did one again, people would be like, oh, it's just one again. And I think they would have felt people wouldn't have appreciated it as much. That need to be
maybe, but I also don't necessarily think people would have more Darksiders strictly. If it was as much of a samey sequel again as like BioShock 2, I don't think that would have been a problem. I really don't.
I don't think so either, but I guess we'll never know.
You know what I thought was weird about this game also, which I really don't think fits in this game, and you may be onto something with the BioWare thing, with the Mass Effect or the Dragon Age, the dialogue trees. Like when you talk to people. Again,
completely unnecessary.
I don't know why they had that. Anything. Part of the reason why I like the first game so much, we talked about that it had the cutscenes had that sort of brevity. It didn't really waste your time. It gives you all sorts of pertinent details about the world and characters and stuff, and it doesn't go on and on and on and talk to you. This game doesn't do that either, but they also assume you want to like dialogue tree the hell out of like all these NPCs, and I'm like, I really don't want to. I don't know. This is not the way I want this information disseminated. They're assuming we care about this like deeper thing than what we've been telling us, and I don't think most people are here for that. Maybe someone else is. I'm not.
I mean, there's probably some weirdos out there who really like the lore, and they probably really appreciate this game for that. And it was kind of trendy to have the dialogue trees and like try to expand on everything. And I respect them for doing more with like world building and trying to make something more out of it. But I think for a lot of us, it's just like, I just try to get through it because I'm like, I just want to play the game. It does set up having like the side quests, and I think the side quests were there to try to, give reason for having such a bigger world. And I did some of them, and they were fine.
It was mostly just like across.
Yeah, it was mostly just like go over here and find this like mini boss and go beat him. It's like, okay, and then sure, no big deal.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, no, I did a little bit of that stuff too, and it's just like it's fine, but it definitely I realized very quickly that I was just not going to be into that stuff. I didn't think I knew the world wasn't going to be like fun enough to traverse and explore around to be able to like do that.
Yeah, I fast traveled so much in this game. And that's the thing. I think the game is gorgeous. I love the art style. I think there's like a big fidelity boost in this game, and a lot of the new stuff they do with like the level design, everything looks great. I love how it looks. It's just a shame that like it's so big. I don't see a lot of it because I'm like just trying to get from one place to the next, and even on the horse, like it just takes forever to get anywhere.
Because
and I'm
they
like,
don't even let you dash as much as you can on the horse. The dashes are like really short. I know that sounds like a really nitpicky thing. I almost said dick picky. Really dick picky thing to say. But like, I don't know, man. It just seems like from big and small, it just seems like all these things to me were like better in the first game. It's just a little bit worse or something.
It's just all that little extra stuff. But again, I think the core of the game to me just felt better. Like I like Death more as a character. I like his character design a lot more. I like his movement set a lot more and how combat feels closer to like a Devil May Cry Bayonetta thing where it's much faster paced. It has more of a reliance on combos, but it doesn't feel overzealous, and it has like, it gets rid of, I think, blocking entirely. And you just like, dash everything. And I enjoyed that. I really like how you get like the skill tree stuff where you get more abilities in combat. I thought the skill tree was actually set up fairly simply. It was just like, here's one big skill tree with a bunch of stuff. You get one upgrade point each level, put it wherever you want. And I liked that. I thought that was very straightforward and you can just kind of make it up how you go along. And stuff like the move that I overuse the hell out of, which is when you dash into enemies and then you get a little bit of your health back.
Oh, I spam the hell out of that.
That's the
best move in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Because the only other way you can upgrade your health is getting like health potions. And you're limited to 5 the entire game. Like I would assume when you'd level up, it's like, oh, maybe you get a little bit more, like you can have more. Nope.
No, you get 5 the whole time. See, I thought I was missing something in the shop to buy more inventory or something. I'm like, nope, you just have 5, which is fine. I think that's fine. It gives
fine.
It a little,
Yeah, because like the difficulty of the game, it's not super difficult.
No, it's pretty easy. I think it's definitely easier than the first one, I would say.
Yeah. And then I think that just comes down to like the combat just feeling a lot smoother. And I felt like I had more agility in combat, and that to me was more enjoyable because War, he wants you to sit there like a tank and like block and take it and everything, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't know, it reminds me a little bit more of Bayonetta, and how I play Bayonetta is I fly around the arena like a fucking madman and then just hit things with my hair when I can.
You know what it is though? You know what the difference is? And I think this is a pretty good comp between Darksiders and Darksiders 2, the combat. I think it's the difference between Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2.
In some ways.
How the combat feels different. And personally, I prefer the first Bayonetta, and similarly, I prefer the first Darksiders when it comes to combat.
And in a way, I prefer Bayonetta 2.
Mm-hmm. And I know you do. That's why I said it that way. Yeah. So like, I get it. It's not that this is bad.
But the thing is, Bayonetta 2 is a more compact game than Bayonetta 1.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. Yeah. Whereas like this one tries to expand it, but it's like, is it really? Because, we're just fast traveling.
Is Darksiders worth trying to make it like a big AAA thing? And I think the answer they came to is not really. And it sounds like I'm being negative, but like I enjoyed the act of playing the game. I enjoyed my time with it, even if it felt like it was too big and there was all this excess stuff. Again, I just liked controlling death so much that I enjoyed it, and I think we're going to differentiate on the puzzles a little bit more. I liked the puzzles a lot more here.
I definitely liked it more in the first game. For sure.
In the first game they just felt a little too labyrinthy and a little too like come on buddy, can we like get this done with? And in 2 they're a lot easier. There were a couple spots where I got stuck, but it wasn't anything like that crazy. Again, it felt like that pacing of the puzzles and the dungeons felt a little stronger than the first game.
I think definitely the first game's puzzles, while maybe being, I don't want to say obtuse, but you have to think about some more. You have great eureka moments that I never really felt stuck in the first game, just like I never really felt stuck in this game. But you have to use your brain less in 2, but that doesn't mean that they're not fun puzzles. They're just different. You are putting stuff on. I just don't think I think the first game's puzzles are a lot more clever
than the first one. There's a lot more backtracking in the dungeons in the first game.
Yeah, for sure. And I think but like I think the puzzles are just a lot more clever. I remember I'm just thinking of stuff in the first game where it's like, remember the part where you have to move the statues up and down, the light bounces off like the fucking yeah. There's like nothing like that in 2. You know?
But in 1, the part that I hated, I think it was one of those light ones where it's like the middle of the, like, it's just a big hole in the middle of the room. There's like one little tower and there's like a path that's constantly like moving, but it's like going I hated that fucking thing because I could never get the timing right. It took me so long to like, and I kind of lucked into the timing to get out of there. Like, that one just made me frustrated, to be honest. Okay. And I never felt frustrated in 2.
There was never anything like that in the first game where I felt that frustrated, but I just felt I don't want to go through every single puzzle that I thought was cool in the first game. I mean, obviously we talked about it last week.
There's some good ones in 1.
But it's like, how do I say this? I think the first game just had this spark to the puzzles that was just a lot more satisfying to solve, in my opinion. Whereas like, because like, okay, I think 2 doesn't really put you in enough urgency. So like, okay, think about the first game where you use the second game also has like, you use the bombs where it's like you blow up stuff or whatever. The first game has a lot more bomb trickery and a lot of them are like timed. So you better get that shit like there. Darksiders 2 doesn't have that. Like when you're holding on to a bomb, it's not going to like explode on you or anything.
No, it's just
right. So they kind of take that stuff away.
And the only time the bomb ever shows up is when you need to blow up a random thing. And then you blow it up and you keep moving. Whereas in 1, it was like, there'd be moments where you have to like, oh, they're not on fire. So you have to like chain them.
Yeah.
And then like shoot a fire thing to blow them up. Yeah.
And I like that stuff just a lot more, in my opinion. Fair. I just thought it was more fun.
Yeah. But I think with 2, just because of how massive the game is, I think they felt they had to dumb the puzzles down so that, you know, you wouldn't be stuck on them forever because there's just so much of the game in size. But it feels like if you just mainline the game, it didn't feel considerably longer to me.
No, it didn't.
Like, I think my game time was like 22 hours.
That's about what I spent on the original Darksiders, though. Like, people always say, like, the second one's a lot longer. It's like, I feel like I spent about the same amount of time.
I think it's a lot longer if you don't fast travel.
Why would anyone do that to themselves?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know some people who don't fast travel until they unlock all the fast travel points.
Oh, please. Okay.
I
mean, look, play however you want, but
yeah, they're weird. They don't encourage other people to do that.
Well, I don't know. See, like in Zelda Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, I don't fast travel, actually, because I'm out there exploring.
I do. Eventually, I do. When it's like I'm starting to focus on getting other things getting things done. I'm like, yeah, let's just keep moving.
It would have to be very, very far away. I would have to be on the other side of the fucking world, and I need to go to like the village or something that's like on the west side. It's like, okay, I'll just fast travel there and then walk back to whatever I was doing. Okay, sure.
Yeah, but Darksiders definitely sits in that realm of open world games where they just were like, oh, let's just make it big and open world because that's what people want.
This is not an open world game.
And
this isn't even.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to make it bigger, but they didn't realize that, like, oh, to make it bigger, you need to have stuff in it for people to care.
But there's nothing. Again, it's the Ocarina problem. It's really just, there's nothing there. You talked a little bit about graphics, but also I wanted to mention some presentation stuff. I really like when you load your save, the journey so far, and they show like some, you know.
Yes.
I love that.
I love when games do that. Witcher 3 does that. There's a couple of others. I love that because if it's been like a long time since you've played the game, it's like, oh, you know, here's what you missed, or like catching you up kind of a thing. I always appreciate that.
Yeah, I really did like that. I love when games have like a live or like dynamic title screen, you know, because the title screen, you just press play and then like you're in there because it loads your save there. And then the title screen is like where you're actually at in the game. I love shit like that. Like as of this recording, I'm playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and it does that shit too. Like I really like when games do that. So,
and it runs apparently.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. Oh my God, Switch 2. Thank you, God.
Do the other Hyrule Warriors run better on Switch 2?
Yes. No, because Age of Calamity is locked at 30, so now it's 30, because on Switch it didn't even barely get to that 30. Hyrule Warriors, the original, was uncapped on Switch when they brought it to Switch, but on Switch 1 it ran in like the 40s or something. It didn't really get there because it already ran like shit on Wii U. So
but it's at
now
60 now.
Yeah, on Switch 2, it's a lock 60. It's no problem. But Age of Calamity, we're gonna have to wait for an actual like Switch 2 edition because it's still, it's locked. Unfortunately,
it's a big question mark.
Yeah, it's a big question. I would love for that to happen, but also something I really you mentioned. There's definitely a big change in art style here in Darksiders 2 because it's more sleek. I would say it's more like sketchy comic book-y, whereas like the first game, like we said, that's like a Disturbed music video, right?
Yeah,
like
the first one had some grit to it. This feels a lot like cleaner, a lot smoother.
Yeah, but I think I do definitely prefer the first game's kind of new metal-ish, like heavy metal magazine kind of like.
Yeah, whereas this looks like a 2010s like cartoon.
Yeah. Which is fine.
I like that. Again, I like that aesthetic. The thing is, like that first area, like you start the game and it's like that cold ice mountain area. I thought that part was great.
Yeah,
and then you never see it, and you never see it again.
Never comes back.
That was honestly like my favorite area in the game. So
I do like that. Another appearance thing I really liked is that I do like that your character changes based on your equipment. It actually looks like he's wearing the shit.
Yes,
because a lot of games don't do that.
I love when RPGs do that.
Not everything does though.
Or when they give you the option, like, do you want it to change your appearance or not? Like some games, like the characters look to me, their base look is so iconic, I just want it to stay. Right, but then there are other games where I'm like, I don't care, just throw it on there.
Yeah, there's like a lot of games let you choose whether to have your helmet permanently off or like on or something like that. Yeah. So that is cool. I think I always had my helmet off in Destiny, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I think I really, though I don't like the look as much as the first game, I definitely do like the way this game looks. But there's a lot of, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to get into a lot of random bitching about what I liked better the first time. But like, I don't like the color palette of this game as much. I like the reds. Obviously, War is red, right? But I like the stronger primary colors of the first game. This is kind of what I gravitate towards,
like a bluer, purpler kind of a shade. And
this is like a lot more gray.
And purple's my favorite color, so
Okay, I get it.
I'm never going to complain about seeing more of those kind of darker hues.
I get you. It's just maybe it's just a little too gray for me. Especially, I think that's why I started to get bored halfway through with some of the dungeons, not just because of the sameness.
Yeah. Like in some instances, it's like this whole world is all gray, and then you go in the dungeons and they're all like orange because they're being lit by like torches.
Right, but it's also like they look the same to me. I feel like the dungeon stuff in Darksiders were a lot more varied visually.
Yeah, they do blend in a little bit more.
Yeah, it just didn't do it nearly as much for me. They're still fun to do. They're still the best. They're obviously the best thing about the game because honestly, that is the whole game. You're just riding your horse till you get to the next thing, which is I mean, whatever.
Like you almost get the sense that there's like if they like really trimmed this game down to like the 12-15 hour game that it probably should be, it would probably be a lot better for it.
I think so.
Yeah,
it could have cut a couple dungeons and like, I guess maybe some of the like
maybe shove some of them together because some of them felt really short.
Yeah, you're right. Some of them did feel short because like you do a lot of them, but they're also shorter.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you think about, like, one of the last ones in Darksiders, the original Darksiders that I loved, where you have to, like, you do the beam of light, and you have to get the beam of light all the way across back the dungeon or something like that. Or
that one where it's like you have to do it 3 different times. You go to 3 different sections.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, this game did that way too much. Okay, you're at the new place. Go get us 3 things. Okay, cool. You got the 3 things. I got 3 things so many times in this game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
there was a lot of that. Yeah, for sure.
It just felt pretty cookie cutter sometimes. I can't lie. Like, I don't know, man. It was not nearly as interesting to me.
Yeah. Do you think this is them almost like trying to play it safe with this entry?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. And maybe because of like the financial situation at THQ, maybe they weren't allowed to take more of the risks that they wanted to take, maybe?
Maybe I would not be surprised if that were the case.
Yeah, because we hit Darksiders 3, and it is a much different game.
That is a totally different thing. That may as well. We'll get there, man. I can't wait for you to try that shit.
And there's also a 6-year gap between those two.
Yes, there is, and which we gotta talk about.
A lot happened in games between 2012 and 2018.
I also really miss like the more extreme or macabre stuff from the first game. Like the finishing moves aren't nearly as like fucking cool in this game.
And they don't show up as consistently. It's like a percentage chance this time. So when you get them, they just kind of show up randomly and you're like, oh sweet, I can do it real quick. And then you do.
Yeah, whereas like the first game really made it a thing. And then of course, like after you kill every boss, like there was a big old cutscene where you do some big death thing to them.
Yeah. There wasn't that many like big bosses in here. Like,
yeah, that's the other problem. I'll get to that in a second. But like I don't know, like the cutscene stuff that still happens in Darksiders 2, but it's not nearly as it's not nearly as cool this time. I don't know.
Yeah, in a lot of ways for sure.
Yeah, and then it's just. Like also not just the finishing stuff, but like think of all the weird macabre like in the first game like. Instead of like a key, you got that fucking kunai thing where you stabbed it into the eyeball of the door and then the blood comes out. And this, you just literally get a skeleton key in Darksiders 2. And it's like, okay, that's not as fun. Key? Yeah, it's like, come on, man. That's not as fun. I don't know, dude. I just miss a lot of those touches from the first game.
It doesn't have the same personality as the first game. Yeah. That is definitely for sure. It
made it feel a bit, I don't want to go as far as to say sterile, but it definitely, for me, was missing that flavor, I think.
Yeah, in some ways. And I'm thinking about it more. It could just be that, like, they wanted to make this like a sterile sequel, hoping that maybe it would help the game ascend to be something bigger and maybe save the company or something. I don't know. Well, it has that feeling of like, we're really hoping this will like save everything.
Dog, it ain't gonna be Darksiders
2. No.
ain't gonna be Wheel of Fortune either, but definitely not Darksiders 2, man. Wasn't gonna be it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get that they didn't want to make the exact same game they made before. I totally understand that. But
yeah, and I respect that, and yeah, there are definitely things about the game that I did find enjoyable. I don't know, maybe if Darksiders 1 had me playing Death, I'd be like, now we're talking.
Now that's like your perfect.
Because I just prefer playing a character like Death in a game like this. Like a heavy tank kind of a character. It's like, sure, but like I feel Darksiders 1, it just didn't feel like it was really made for that kind of a character. Whereas I think it was made more for a character like 2, who's just, he can do more. But also, I'm a sicko for that Prince of Persia wall running and jumping shit.
I did not. That has to be the worst part of the game.
I mean, we're talking about Assassin's Creed. I love that shit. The parkour stuff. I could do that all day.
It's so fucking boring. I hated that stuff. That is the absolute worst aspect of the game for me. At first, I was like, okay, he's more agile, and it's like, okay, we're doing a thing.
It felt more Uncharted to me than Prince of Persia.
And I fucking, how how much I hate Uncharted. So, like, I
kind of like Uncharted.
Ooh, man, that is not something I liked. And like, it's not bad that it's there. It's just every fucking dungeon has the same shit.
It is overdone. I will agree.
My god, dude. I was so tired. Like when I think about like why this game wore me out a little bit, it's that stuff. And it's like, they didn't even there's a couple times where you have to jump back and forth on a wall. There's no like fun timing aspect to it. There's no real challenge to it. It just sort of happens. I think the most fun I had with this game really was like the portal stuff, like using the portals to warp around in like that one area, that was pretty clever. And I like that.
Yeah. Well, and there was the one time you have to do is when like the lava's rising and you have to get up there like in time.
Yeah.
It was like the one time it felt genuinely challenging.
But like the same little pole shimmy and the same wall run and the same like it just makes dungeons even look more samey than they already do, because you have the same looking ass scaffolding and the same like little posts to climb. And it's just like, come on, dude. Can they at least look different? Did they think people would get confused if they like?
No,
I don't know, man.
Well, I gotta ask, what do you think about the bit where you're back on Earth?
You know what? It was cool to see it done in this current like new like Darksiders 2 art style. Obviously, it doesn't look exactly like the first game. That sort of gritty, like Spawn comic looking shit. But like, yeah, it was cool, and it was cool to see. Well, that's the part I was calling the bullet witch part, where it's like, okay, now I have the gun, and I'm going to just shoot everything. It becomes a third-person shooter for like a half an hour. That was so weird. I didn't actually mind playing that. But
it felt like it felt like a genuine like nice break from the gameplay.
Yes, but it came too late. I feel like that should have happened earlier. It's like the end of the game,
or maybe like they sprinkle it in here and there, kind of a thing. Like
Maybe
they sprinkled it throughout. And then there's that one bit where you're like riding a dragon. And it's like setting it up to be like, oh, it's like in the first game where we do Panzer Dragoon shit. Mm-hmm. And you're just riding the thing for like a few minutes or something. And then you just land and it's like, oh, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. That was the cool visual.
I think they wanted that to be more, but maybe they just ran out of time.
I think they ran out of time or budget. I think they actually wanted that to be more.
And they're like, fuck, it's still in there.
But then you get on the Sky Castle thing with the dragons, and where they let you off. That's cool. That's a great visual.
It feels like for a game that's so big, it a lot of it just rings hollow. Mm-hmm. And again, maybe it just comes down to the fact that they just didn't really have the time to like truly develop it, because in some ways it does feel a little half-baked, I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, that's kind of the problem, right? Because it's like I said, you do that like sky thing, and you ride your horse across like the dragon thing, and it's like a cool cutscene or whatever. But then what happens when you get on the Sky Castle? You do the same wall running and climbing up the shit, and it's just like, you brought me all the way up here for this cool ass visual to do the same fucking thing, man. Like, come on. So again, I'll stop bitching about that, but it's just like that's how I felt about a lot of points in this game, No,
it's fair, and again, it is a bit of a shame because the game has so much potential to be better than it is. I think.
I think so as well. Again, I want to stress, like, I don't hate this game. I really don't. It's just I did not like it as much. That's all.
I think I just liked it more because it was a more like smooth ride overall. Like it was fairly smooth to just go through it and just kind of turn my brain off some days and just kind of blaze through it for a little bit. It's
definitely much more smooth brain than the first game is, for sure.
And I kind of liked it for some of the smooth brain aspects.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm a Warriors fan. I know smooth brain. Okay, I'm there. I get it sometimes. It's just maybe that's not what I wanted from this. Maybe I should have looked more into the staff of this game. This has to have been a different director, right? Or like very different people working on this, because this just feels like such a different game.
So they both were developed by Vigil Games.
Right.
The director of the first game is Joe Madaruri.
Oh, yeah, Joe Mad.
Yeah, Joe Mad and David Adams. And this game is directed by Joe Mad, David Adams, and Marvin Donald.
Okay,
who doesn't have a
pretty
Wikipedia
much the same
page.
Pretty much the same people.
Like looking at the devs, it's pretty much the same people, but with more of them.
It's just weird to regress, right? Because obviously, as you know, this is not a generation I liked very much for a lot of reasons. So like,
who liked the Wii U?
not me, that's for goddamn sure. I'm a Nintendo person, but even
tired of this Wii U revisionism, you fuckers.
Oh, very much, dude. People try to do that shit though.
I've seen it, and I'm like,
crazy.
Guys, I am so like the kids who grew up with the Wii U are old enough to make YouTube videos now, and I'm like, you fuckers, come on.
I'm like, no. I am not rehabilitating this fucking console,
bro. I remember in the mid 2010s where everyone's like, oh, they're just gonna go third party. They're dead.
Dude, that was so weird that people thought that. I never thought that.
For a brief window in time, I was like, I remember thinking, I was like, if their next console doesn't do well, they might consider it. I was like, if the Switch didn't take off, they probably would be like, fuck, what do we do now?
I think they will just keep making consoles till the end of time, no matter how much they fail. I don't think they'll ever fucking do it. At this point, yeah, they will. That ship will burn to the ground. I thought that during Wii U though, because they stuck with the fucking gamepad. They never dropped the price. Like it was like they were being so bullish about it. It's like, oh, dude, they're going down with the ship no matter how. Yeah. But then Switch happened, right? So
they didn't learn their lesson.
They sure did.
No, they didn't.
Well, I forgot.
They were still bullheaded-ish during the Switch, but because the concept worked, people didn't care.
No. Of course. No, it's not the bullheaded that bothers me. It's like you have to make the games to go along with the bullheaded, and they did not have that on Wii U.
And I think that's why Switch 2 is a little shaky right now, because they don't really have, like, compared to the Switch 1's launch, it hasn't been the same.
No, it hasn't been the same. But I think we have faith now that they'll get there versus like 10 years ago. It's like they're never getting there.
Yeah,
they're not fucking doing it.
I'll probably buy a Switch 2 next year.
Eventually, when the games are worth it to you. I'm just waiting. Actually, speaking of Nintendo, I forgot that Darksiders 2 was on Wii U until you fucking.
I think it was
a
launch game for Wii U as well.
Yeah. Well, that was the era where it's like, here are all these games for $50 on Wii U, even though they're way cheaper on everything else. It's like,
well, Darksiders 2 was definitely one of those games that when the Wii U was launching, Nintendo was using it to be like, look, we have the third-party games too.
Yeah.
Because that was a whole thing with the Wii, was that it wasn't getting the 360 PS3 games. And if it got any of them, they were usually like really bad downgrades, or it just wasn't the same thing. And it was just a lot of like shovelware, though there are a lot of real interesting games on Wii that I think people are more appreciative of now.
I think so, yeah.
But I remember at the time, if you just had a Wii, you felt slighted because it's like, oh, 360 and PS3 are getting all these cool ass games, and we're getting, like, for all the 5 to 10 great games we're getting maybe like 2 of them.
Yep. Yeah,
you know?
It was a dearth. If you were a Wii only gamer, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, and that's why when they brought out the Wii U, like one of the first things they did was like, remember they did that thing where they brought in like all the like a spokesman for all the third parties.
Yep.
And be like, oh, the Wii U is great. We're definitely making games for this thing. And some of them just like they never did.
No, they never did. But on Switch they actually did. They actually did bring that shit.
I mean,
but
hey,
that's why I always say
we did get Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. So that's something.
Oh my god, you did. That's why I always say though that like Skyrim was so fucking important to the Switch's first year, and people were like, why are we reporting Skyrim, this old ass game? And it's like that's like the perfect proof of concept. Hey, you can play Skyrim on the goddamn airplane with your little controllers. That's why it was there.
Like Skyrim is what helped sell the Switch, absolutely, because portability was still a novelty then. So the idea of like, oh, this crazy big RPG, I can now play it wherever, and so many people bought it again, so they could put another couple hundred hours into it on a different system. So it helped. Like, you can't sell it like that now because everything has changed.
Yeah.
But in 2017, it was kind of needed.
Yeah, it was. And Switch 2 can't coast off of that. They can't be like, well, it's portable, right? Like, that doesn't matter anymore. So
now you need to bring the games.
Yeah, which they did last time. I feel like they will now. I don't know.
Sure they will.
As you guys can probably tell, I don't know if I have a whole lot more to say about Darksiders 2. I mean, I think I got all my bitching out.
Darksiders 2 does have a Wii U energy to it.
It kind of does. Well, I mean, that whole anything from like 2012, 13, even though Borderlands 2 was not on Wii U, it still has energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else came out in 2012.
Well, I remember. Well, Borderlands 2. Like I said, that's like the thing I played the most. I remember for sure. 2012,
we got Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3. We got Journey. Okami HD. Borderlands 2. Oh God, Fez was that year. Oh,
yeah.
I
know, right?
Walking Dead. Dark Souls was the year before, but DLC Dishonored. Far Cry 3.
I just got the Dishonoreds on Steam for like $10, all of them.
Okay, I haven't played a single bit of them.
Bro.
Well, they're all on Game Pass, so.
Yeah, right here.
Far Cry 3. Was Far Cry 3 2012? Oh shit! It was. 2012 felt like 2012 felt like looking at the list of like the best games of the year. It's like, yeah, this is a down year. Like when one of the best games that year is fucking FIFA. Like FIFA 13 has a 90
2012 and 13 were just weird. You know,
Yeah,
it was just a
they
weird
were.
time.
It was kind of it was a down point in the industry, kind of in general.
Yeah, like we were not selling the consoles that we were just waiting for PS4 and Xbone, really.
Because by 2012, that's when people were like, "Can we please get the next gen of consoles? These have been out for fucking ever." And so Microsoft were like, "What do you mean? Everybody still likes these. These are doing great." And it's like they were still doing good.
We're
at that
sick
point,
of it, man.
But
we didn't want to keep doing that.
It was definitely time to move on for sure. Let's see. Halo 4 was that year. Oh boy. Max Payne 3. There you go.
Okay, I've never played a Max Payne.
Oh, Max Payne 3 is a banger.
Okay.
So fucking good.
Would give what? Okay, so I forget. We like to do letter grades on Fine Time here.
Sure.
What did we? I think I gave Darksiders a B plus. I would give Darksiders 2 a C, maybe. I think
A C plus.
C, flat C.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be generous just because I did enjoy my time with it despite all of the flaws. I'll give it a B minus.
Okay.
Like a flat, like the lowest B minus you can get, like an 80.
Okay.
You know?
Just B minus ass B minus. Okay.
A B minus, yes. Because I forget what I gave the original Darksiders. Might have been a B.
I think it was a B. You weren't. I think it may have been a B minus. Actually, you may be on the same thing. Yeah.
In some ways, they're kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
I think they both do certain things better than the other. And I'm like, if you take the best of both of them and shove them in there, that's a B plus, maybe an A minus, baby.
I'm trying to end this by thinking of at least one thing that I liked more than in Darksiders. I can't think of it. Maybe I don't know. I guess the loop, but that Darksiders doesn't have that, so that's not really a fair comparison. Yeah, I don't know. There's just everything was better to me in the first.
Oh yeah,
one.
the final boss was terrible. What the fuck was that?
Okay, yeah, maybe we can end there. I think all the bosses in this game are not very good, especially the last one. I'll never make fun of the end of Darksiders 1 again. Holy shit.
Because Darksiders 1 tried and it failed. This didn't even try.
No, dude. Like all of them just felt like big enemies.
It was. I'd said it to you in Discord. It reminded me of Wario World. Because in Wario World, at the very end of Wario World, right, you fight the gem with the tentacles in the eye, right? Like you're fighting them, and you're like, this is easy, this ain't too bad. And then when you beat them, you're just like, okay, when's the second form coming? Like when is this fight developing? And it never develops, it's just like game's over. Apparently, the Japan version does, but not the American version for some reason.
Really? Okay.
So in this one, it was the same thing. Like when you beat him, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm probably going to get the second, the second form or something strange is going to happen. Nope.
No.
I get the achievements start popping that I beat the game, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like I thought the fight right before him, where you fight like that Satan devil looking guy, like that was actually probably the best fight in the game.
It was.
Because that was like a fairly challenging, fun fight.
But yeah,
I really like that one.
Think of the first. I mean, dude, we're like riding around the horse and we're shooting that worm with the gun and shit.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
Alaskan
just like,
bullworm.
There's just nothing like that in 2.
Nothing big, scary, and pink. Like Patrick's belly button.
I was going to say something else, but hey, we can.
It's an Alaskan bullworm.
But yeah, the boss. I'm glad you agree with me on that. The bosses were pretty lame in this game.
Yeah, they all were just like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, here's a big skeleton. Here's a big. I mean, it's just like. Okay, man. Anyway, well, I mean, I'd like to say they'll improve in Darksiders 3, but that is a different game. So
yeah, you've tested it. I haven't yet, but I will be testing it fairly soon.
Yeah, I played a couple hours, and I can't wait for you to try it.
I've heard a lot of interesting opinions about it.
It's interesting. It will be interesting, and we will have things to talk about. Whether it's good or not, I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll have things.
I'm looking forward to it, and I have a crazy feeling I'm gonna like Genesis.
You know what?
I have a weird feeling.
Me too. I think I'm gonna enjoy Genesis for sure. All right, guys, that's about it. We'll be back hopefully next week with Darksiders 3. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly how these are gonna air, but I feel like that will be the case. Until then, check the description of this podcast to find our links on social media and find Thrak on the 3DO experience and such. All those links will be below. And see you next time, Darksiders. Bye.
We'll see you next time on